Hello, welcome back to ADHD Fabrication, home of the Volkswonda, a mid-engine rear-wheel drive 1991 EF Honda Civic hatchback that I've stuffed the entire front end of a 2002 Golf with a 24-valve VR6 and a 6-speed manual into the back of. The goal is to make something fun to drive and go to all sorts of different races and events, something that I actually built and something that was a little bit more unique than most people do. In our last episode, we heard this thing scream to life in its current position in the back of this 91 EF Honda Civic. And in this episode, we should be able to have a change of setting after we deal with the MAF sensor wiring extension, wrapping up a little bit more of that wiring and making it a little bit safer so nothing's rubbing while we're driving. These fuel line connections that are having a leak and probably needed to be made better anyway, I just wanted to hear it run, and some form of an exhaust so that this isn't as deafening as it is currently. After those things and maybe a couple other that I find, because that's always how this works, we'll be going on a test drive in this thing today. Stay tuned to see it happen. Alright, sweet. We've got our downpipe. We've got our O2 sensor that's probably way too close to our headers and might get burned, but this will all be changing in the future, so all well. So that's all fully welded out up to the end of the resonator, and then I've got that just stuck onto it. What I'd like to do is start the car and listen to it with that exhaust, and also listen to it with the 4-cylinder Greddy exhaust, and see if I need to try to pull the dent out and make that prettier, or if I'm just going to go with the APR exhaust for the Mark IV Golf in the first place. There's not going to be a cat on this, so it's going to be louder due to that. It's also going to be louder because there's going to be 6 feet less exhaust pipe, and then we'll have some bends in it that go into the exhaust and all that, so it should quiet it down a little bit, but it's definitely still going to have some character, which is what I want. I just don't want it to be loud and obnoxious. So, off camera, I went ahead and got a more permanent solution. The fuel lines were routed right up here, and then they were zip tied in there, and I just had them hose clamped. I routed them better and took them around here and down and out. Got the return hose clamped, and then we've got this fitting here that was mounted in the EF Honda Civic and went to a banjo bolt, but I just cut off banjo bolt section on the fuel line. And then I've got a nice barb fitting in the middle of there with a couple more hose clamps. I'll make the fit and finish better in the future, but I believe that this should work just fine. So, I got that whole fuel line on. It should not leak, we will see. We're gonna try to bleed the fuel system. We're gonna start it up with only that as an exhaust, but then we'll do a little bit of playing around and testing and seeing if that's what we want or if that's what we want. Greddy 4-cylinder exhaust out of a Honda Civic, or an APR exhaust out of a Mark IV Golf. Alright, we got our little test pipe sticking out there. Let's see if she'll start just like she is. It'll probably sound a lot different, but still really loud. Telling me to stop the engine because it didn't have oil pressure, which hasn't happened before, so I don't know what that's about. You can check, but I'm pretty sure it's got oil. We added about a quart of oil. Let's see, I guess, if that fixed it. Again that time. I'm wondering if maybe the sensor is clogged up or going bad. It doesn't seem like it's running poorly, so I don't necessarily think it's actually got low oil pressure, but I don't want to test it too much. Hasn't thrown low oil pressure this time. Make me think it's the sensor. Alright, let's try it with the APR exhaust that goes on the Golf, technically. Alright, well, we need to figure out the oil pressure thing, but I'm using the APR exhaust. We had the issue with the car freaking out when we were starting it, saying that it had low oil pressure. Normally it's a huge pain in the ass to get to the oil pressure sensor because it's up front here and it's on your oil filter housing thing that's up in there. So I'm going to start with switching that out for a different one that I have. Maybe the sensor's just bad. I also can take it out and kind of look at what it looks like on the inside and make sure it doesn't look like something's gumming it up. Okay, as long as I'm not jinxing it by saying this, I believe I got it figured out. We have coolant freaking out because we still don't have a coolant temperature sensor or level sensor, whatever it is that's in the radiator itself. The oil pressure sensor, right back there, that's what that plug is. The clip was broken off of it, but in being broken off of it, it had it held out and it couldn't actually plug all the way in. So I think it was getting a little bit of a connection, but then the moment I'd start revving it, it would vibrate and it would come off of it and make a bad connection and make the ECU freak out. That's my theory right now because I've revved it up a few times and it's not having any issues. You know what that means. Ridiculous. Oh, I'm so excited. Still needs finished as far as welding out and supports, but I want to hear what it sounds. I can't wait. Yeah, that sounds fucking sick. As law states, since this is a surface in my shop, there's stuff all over it, so I'll have to clean up the top of the Civic, make sure everything's out of it and is zip tied up. I gotta zip tie up the O2 sensor wiring back there because it's not extended yet. And then we can go for a test drive. Tidied up, put the passenger seat in so my girlfriend can come with me. Gotta shut the hood and whatnot after moving this BMW and this tire machine. Have a great day, and most importantly, remember, don't let your meat loaf.